time for another video. It's very difficult for me to do videos because it's so hard to get information because of so many paywalls. Before you can get to the information, they want money from you. So it takes quite a bit of time and effort to try and do a video. But let's try one anyway. A new study warned that Arctic warming threatens to set off toxic mercury bombs. The release of mercury from permafrost will take a huge toll on the environment. The Arctic is warming 4 times faster than the global average. Mercury deposits in the permafrost have accumulated over thousands of years. Mercury in the top 1 meter of Arctic soil, or 3 feet of the soil, potentially exceeds the total amount stored in the atmosphere, oceans, and all other soils of the planet Earth. So that tells you how much mercury there is in the soil. The rivers in the Arctic are contributing considerable amounts of mercury in the ocean as well. The new study warns that decades of exposure to the toxic elements, especially with increased levels as more mercury is released, could take a huge toll on the environment, animals, and all plants. In other words, we're contaminating our planet with mercury. So it's so important to try and to slow down the climate disaster that's happening. You may not feel it where you are, but many animals and plants, including humans, are feeling it. They just don't know it yet. They won't know it until it's too late, too little too late, and that's going to be a problem. And it's up to us to try and decrease the climate change as it's going, because no politician that's running today is going to do much at all about climate change. Now, Kamala Harris, of course, she's talking about doing something about climate change, whereas the other guy is talking about it's all a hoax and doesn't exist. Well, in his world it probably doesn't, but in our world it really does. And let's go to this. The 2024 U.S. presidential election boils down to should the U.S. remain a democracy or become a fascist country. Now, that is a good question because you have 2 clear candidates and where they're going. Kamala Harris wants to keep the country as a democracy, whereas Trump wants to turn it into a dictatorship, fascist country. Now, he talks about Harris being a communist. Well, fortunately, there's only one country left on the planet Earth that is truly communist, and that's China. Now, would you like to be China? Well, neither would I. Kamala Harris isn't talking anything like being a communist, whereas Trump is talking about being a fascist. He's butting up to Putin, which is a fascist country, Kim Il-sung of North Korea, which is definitely a fascist country, and many other leaders of fascist countries around the planet. That's what he likes, dictatorship. Trump calls to jail top elected officials here in the U.S. if he gets in. That is definitely a fascist thing to do. Trump will have presidential immunity given to him by his fascist friends in the Supreme Court. Trump says he will build concentration camps. And who will go in these concentration camps? Migrants, blacks, gays, and Jewish people. That's who will fill the concentration camps. Now, we've seen concentration camps in the past, and that's always been in fascist countries, such as World War II. Those that did their homework knows what happened in World War II with concentration camps. And then there's Trump's Christian nationalism, where everyone will have to be a Christian nationalism in the U.S., or he will put you in your concentration camps. And if you don't like the religion of Christian nationalism, that's just too bad, because that's the way fascist countries work. You will follow the dear leader, and you will Heil Hitler this leader for as long as you live, and you know as well as I do that Trump has no plans of going anywhere. After the 4 years, he has pledged that you will never have to vote again, and that he will be the leader from the time he gets in to the time he gives his reins to the rest of the family of the Trump's fascist group.
She grew up in a middle-class home. She was the daughter of a working mom, and she worked at McDonald's while she got her degree. Kamala Harris knows what it's like to be middle class. It's why she's determined to lower healthcare costs and make housing more affordable. Donald Trump has no plan to help the middle class, just more tax cuts for billionaires. Being president is about who you fight for, and she's fighting for people like you.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I...
So, there's a very good video I want people to watch in the description area. If you could go and watch that video, it's more on the situation with the Trumps and what Trump has done to the veterans of the U.S., how he has put down veterans of the U.S., and what he thinks of it. And I appreciate all the ups, the new subscribers, and definitely your comments. And until next time.